Hi, my name is Toyin Oseni. I am a nurse and I am also a content creator and influencer. And this is Know Your Creative with Abon Style.
How did you get into creating content?
Okay, I think I started creating content in 2023. Yes, 2023. And I initially wanted to do like mostly UGC content, just creating content for brands, not necessarily like for myself or even as an influencer or anything like that. It was mostly UGC, that's like user generated content. But as time went on, it became more interesting to share like my own lifestyle and things that I basically do and go on about. So I started creating content in 2023 out of the need for an extra source of income. So yes, it was about the money, not just about the content or about sharing my lifestyle. But I fell in love with it along the line and I'm still trying to get better with it.
You introduce yourself as a nurse?
Yes.
So how are you, first of all, let me ask, are you currently practicing as a nurse?
No, I'm not. I finished my internship in 2025. So for now, no.
Do you see yourself going back to being a nurse full time?
It's on the greater side of no. It's more of a no than a yes.
Is it because of your now career as a content creator, or you just decided to study nursing for the sake of studying nursing?
Honestly, okay. I actually wanted to become a medical doctor, but I didn't get the cutoff mark for medicine. So I was able to get someone to work it out and all of that. And then I got into nursing because that was the next best option for me, since I still wanted to be in the medical line. But now that I have gone through school, I have gone through the practice, gone through everything that I have to go through in terms of being a nurse, it is not as fulfilling as I thought it was going to be. So content creation is like an out for me from nursing. But I do not know if I'm ever going to go back to it.
Do you think there's any training that you did to become a nurse that has helped you become a content creator, be a better content creator?
Well, the one I would say is transferable is patience when dealing with people. Because being a nurse, you would see all sorts of people in this life. You will come across you come across the angry, you come across the happy, you come across the graceful, you come across the ones that if you're not standing by their relative by the bed, or even as the patient, if you're not standing by them by the bed, it looks as if you're not attending to them. So I have learned to be patient with people. So I think that is something transferable into content creation, because when you're dealing with brands, when you're dealing with business owners, you really have to be patient and you have to like watch your words sometimes, because they tend to just randomly annoy you for no reason. So I think patience, and learning how to be a people person. Let me put it like that. So yeah.
So what has been the highlight of content creation since you started this journey?
I think I would say it's getting noticed or being visible, because visibility is like the currency of content creation. So being visible for me has been the highlight. Getting to work with brands that I could only just imagine buying it from the supermarket or buying it to make a use of, not that they will reach out to me and then I get to work with them and they pay. So I think that has been the highlight.
Okay, so what was one moment that you truly felt visible? You felt like people could see you?
I think that would be recently when I worked with Darling Hair. Yes, I worked with Darling Hair, and that was like, let me not call it a turning point, but at least it made me know that what I was doing was good enough for a big brand like that to reach out to me. I worked with them through a PR agency, so I didn't exactly have a direct contact with them, but everything was smooth, everything was easy, everything was simple. It was like when you're working with people that know what they want and they reach out to you, they tell you the amount, they give you the brief and everything, and then they send you the products, and all you have to do is just pick something from the brief or just understand what they mean in the brief and then just create the content, send to them for approval, and that was literally it. And I didn't have any issue. Like, I created the content, sent it to them, and it was approved.
That's why we know that you're very happy about it. What has been your biggest struggle in this journey?
Biggest struggle I would say is coming up with unique ideas for like each brand, because it's very easy to be repetitive with your content, especially when you do a particular type of content and you see that, oh, this one really did well, like people really like it, and then you try to, it's as if you want to like continue in that line, just doing something repetitive, but you have to tailor each content to each brand's end goal or something like that.
So how would you describe your content to a stranger or someone that has no idea about content creation or Instagram or any of these things? How would you describe your content to them?
Okay, I would say my content is mostly relatable. Relatable in the sense that I'm basically like sharing my life and like the products I use every day, and incorporating brands into my life and what I do daily is how I feel I am being relatable to a lot of people, because these are things that you basically use in like your daily life, like either it's skincare, your hair, your lifestyle, going to see a movie, attending an event, just things like that. So I am a lifestyle content creator and I share my journey.
But I think you've mentioned brands a couple of times and how you've been able to merge both, being a lifestyle content creator. So would you say that, is it because you started as a UGC creator that your content can be perceived like this? And is it like intentional? Are you intentionally in like introducing brands to your content?
I won't say it's because I started as a UGC creator, but having that background was good because it helps me to align the brands better with the lifestyle and the type of content that you want. And normally when you see content online, if you're watching something that is flat out an ad, you really just scroll past. You're not interested in watching it. So I feel like that gave me a perspective as to how to do proper storytelling and put out better content that actually makes the person watching it interested in what they are watching, and not just the fact that you're trying to sell something to them. So yeah.
Nothing but the truth. This segment is called Nothing But the Truth, and you have to select a card, and there's going to be a question, and you have to tell us the absolute truth. You also have to answer the question, and if you don't answer the question, there is a penalty that you're going to have to do. Is that okay?
Okay.
Even if you say it's not okay, you're still going to do it. So
the question here is, what is the worst advice you've heard as a content creator? And the punishment is to do 10 push-ups if I do not answer. The worst advice I received as a content creator was like, when I was starting out, then they used to be like, you should niche down, or you should just pick a particular thing and focus on it. As much as it was an okay advice as at then, because of course it's okay to be known for a particular thing, but now as content creation is evolving, as the content creation space is evolving, being an influencer and all of that, niching down to one thing, I do not think it's really going to help anybody at this point, especially me, because I'm saying I'm into lifestyle, or I'm a lifestyle content creator, and I cannot niche down to one thing because my life is not just about one thing. So it has to show a bit of everything and encompass everything.
What do you consider before you take a brand on as a client?
The first thing is how much they're willing to pay.
Speak up. Speak up, hear you very well.
The first thing is how much they are willing to pay. I feel like these days, a lot of brands just see content creation as, it's not just to set camera and say one or two things. It's not. It's really not. Like, you have to pay for data. The phone we're using is paid for. The apps we're using to edit and put captions and all of that, everything is paid for. So it is not just to set camera. If it was that easy, I'm sure you do it yourself. As much as the amount is like something I consider, the main thing I would actually consider is if it is something that aligns with me as a person and the type of audience I am trying to build.
Okay, let's talk about conversion. Because as somebody who is sometimes on the other side of the conversation as a brand, or as somebody that has reached out to people to maybe create content for a specific thing, how do you ensure that you are able to convert? Because I feel like right now it's not just about numbers. It's about what can those numbers do, what can you actively accomplish as an influencer. So how do you ensure that you meet your KPIs or the deliverables that the brand sets for you?
First thing first, like you said, is based on the brand's goal. So if I have an idea of what the brand wants and their end goal with this particular campaign or content that they're expecting from me, then I would know how to like tailor the content for them. And I would also like go through their page to even see the type of content that they put out normally, the type of content that does well on their page in the first place. So I would do that according to my style, but also incorporating what they already have on their page, especially if it's going to be like a collaborative post. So that by the time it's on their page, it doesn't look like something that is just so random. Yeah, like it's out of place on their page, So I also do that. And then for me as a person working with the brand, I would make you understand that I'm going to create this content in like my own style. And like you came to me because of the audience I have. So there's a particular way my audience responds. There's a particular type of content or content formats that my audience responds to. So you have to be okay with me creating the content for you in that same light. And if you're not okay with it, you're trying to make me portray your brand in a specific way that I don't even do like normally. So it's already an issue. And you'd already know that one is probably not going to convert as much as you expect it to, because you made me do something that is out of brand for me. Let me put it that way. And it is not entirely in my place to give you customers or give you clients. Let me put it like that. Because some brands reach out to you and they are expecting that, oh, this content that you're doing is to bring me millions in sales. But what you're even willing to pay for the content is not even up to 10% of what you're expecting. So using an influencer is basically a form of marketing, and a lot goes into marketing.
Have you ever had to turn down a brand maybe because of their goals, or maybe you just had a bad feeling with like the way the conversation was going? And also, how do you do it and ensure you don't ruin the relationship forever and make sure like, oh, okay, maybe this brand comes back another time, or they would even consider me for another campaign or anything like that? So how do you ensure that?
I think I've turned down 1 or 2 brands, but it wasn't because of the way they reached out or anything like that. I feel like it was based on the deliverable they were expecting for what they were willing to give, be it a gifted collaboration or a paid collaboration. Like it just did not, there was no mutual benefits. Let me put it that way. And turning them down, it's not like I'm like, I do not know how to curse or use swear words or be unpolite. I really do not know how to, except it gets to the extreme and you call for it. But naturally, I do not know how to. So I will simply just send a very simple, well-worded message telling you, oh, I see what you're offering, but it doesn't benefit me as much. And I feel like this would not convert well for you in the long run. So for now, if you're not able to like afford this particular amount, or you're not able to give out this much for a gifted collaboration, then I think maybe you can reach out some other time.
But I know that there's been a conversation. I think I stumbled upon a post where someone was complaining about how in Benin City, people reach out to influencers and content creators and they don't want to pay. And you talked about like gifted collaborations and paid collaborations. So how are you able to like personally navigate through that?
It's not easy, because I'm still trying to like become more visible to brands. I'm still trying to build my platform. So to an extent, I still accept gifted collaborations, but it has to be beneficial. Like, for example, if you're a food brand now, you can't tell me that you just want to send me a plate of rice and chicken or something, for example, and I'm supposed to set my camera, dress up nice, do a proper video, talk about how the food is and all of that.
Since you're saying one, no. Can you prepare now for when I start my business? How many will I have to send you?
Okay, at least 2 or 3. And it has to be like different kinds, because you're saying I should talk about your brand, and then you're sending just jollof rice. Like, is it just jollof rice you offer? Is it only jollof rice that my clients or my audience, for example, or that my audience is going to be buying from you or something, for example? If you're sending it to me and you're like, please just mention the brand in the comments or caption or something, like just mention the brand, not like you do a full-on influencing video for it, no problem. I can just say, okay, maybe talk about it on my story or incorporate it into a lifestyle video or something, and then tag your brand in the caption or in the comments. That's fine. But when you're sending something and you're expecting a full-blown influencer campaign like video, what you're sending has to make sense if you don't have the money to pay. And sometimes you don't even really have to like say, oh, this your money is too much, or this and that. But at least the least you can do is even offer something. Like, if you're saying, okay, what I have is just maybe a small pack of food or something, but I'm also going to pay so and so amount, at least offer something else apart from the products that you're offering. Or if you're inviting me for an event or something, you can say, okay, take this as like transportation allowance or something, because we're going to get ready. We have to get the proper outfits for the events. If we don't already have it, that means we have to go buy or something. And then we have to show up correct, because you are expecting us to show up correct. We cannot come looking like one of the workers on set or something. So we have to show up correct. So the least you can do is to say, take this as thanks for coming.
What was the first time you got paid as a content creator?
The first brand or the first paid collaboration I had was with a restaurant. That was in 2024. I got to work with them, just basically talking about their restaurants, what they offer, and then they had like programs for like almost every day. I don't know if they still have all of that now, but they had programs for like almost every day for people to come in for. So they were advertising that as well. So yeah, that was my first paid gig.
How much was this? You knew I was going to ask, so you might as well.
It was 50K. What is your biggest creative insecurity? And the punishment is to dance legwork. My biggest creative insecurity is thinking that I am not good enough to be paid. The main reason why I feel like I'm not good enough to be paid is because I feel like my content is not at a level that I feel is good enough. But that is also because I tend to like compare myself to a lot of creators, and then when I do that, I literally like call myself to order and be like, you know what, this person has been creating content for like 5 years and they have like so and so followers, and you are like just starting out. As much as there are a lot of resources online, to help you start out and all of that, you really do not gain the experience until you do it. So whenever I catch myself comparing myself to anybody, or I'll be like, this person's video is doing 100K. Oh, this person is saying she now charges so and so amount for a brand, and I'm like, when will I get there? I just remember that I am still at the beginning stage, and I try to bring myself back to the level that I am in terms of being a content creator.
So there's a content that I saw on your page.
Okay.
And I laughed so much because I was so confused. I was so entertained. I didn't know where to go.
I feel like I have an idea.
I was so around like this. Imagine my surprise. I'm scrolling on Instagram. I see Toyin with white powder on her face. And I'm like, okay, the Toyin I know, I don't used to see her with white powder on her face. So please, what gave you the idea?
I was about to go to bed, honestly. And the reason for the white powder was because I had like a rash on my face. And I feel like it was this kind of rash that if you itch it, it tends to like be more peppery. How would I describe it? So I could not use my skincare products at that time. So I had to use a powder because that was what gave like a calming effect or something. So I had rubbed the powder. I had worn my nightwear. I was about to lay on my bed. And then I randomly remember that, I had this bubble blower, or what's it called?
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, it's even more ridiculous than you dancing or singing.
I remember that I had this and I was like, I've not blown bubbles in a while. So I went to pick it up and I blew a few bubbles and then my AC was on and the AC was blowing air and I'm like, bubble
2 + 2 =
AC.
4.
Let's discover something. And then I took it out of the container and I went to the fan, to the AC, sorry. And then I tried it out. And it blew miraculously well. And I was like, you know what? I need to share this with my audience. So I went to set up my tripod and my phone. And I shared it.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It was a wonderful thing to witness. So what would be your favorite content that you've created in recent times?
That would be the video I created for Darling Nigeria. Before I even posted it, I watched that video an unhealthy amount of times. And if it was possible, I think that video has almost 1K views now. If it was possible to watch that video myself that 1,000 times, I would have done that. Like the video was just perfect. Like it was one of those times when I won't even say I got the idea because Darling gave us a brief with like a few content ideas that they wanted. So we just picked one. And I actually combined 2 different ones because there was one of you showing how you style the hair in different ways. And there was one of how getting your makeup done to see if you like your new hair. And then I was like, let me just combine these 2 because there's no need doing the makeup and then just be posing on camera with just one particular style of hair. And I was like, so let me go from the makeup aspect. And as I started to do the makeup, I just thought, let me just say a few things at the beginning. And then I was like, right now I can't even remember.
I watched that video how many times
I said, but like, and to think that I created that video at 11 p.m. I did my hair during the day and then I made the video at night because it was already kind of due.
Yeah.
So I created a video at 11 p.m. and I was tired though, but you won't even see it on my face that I was tired. But I was just happy with with the makeup process. I was happy with how the makeup came out and I felt like people should play me Most Beautiful Girl in the World by Rihanna.
So what's your favorite thing about creating content? What's your favorite part for you of the process?
The end result. When I'm done with the video and then I just scroll to the beginning of the video and I just press play and I just watch it. Yeah. That's my favorite. Like, now you do that thing. Like, it looks good.
Alright, what's your least favorite part?
It depends on the content. It depends on the content, it depends on my mood, it depends on how I'm feeling. But I think it's creating, especially when I have to create alone, maybe in public or in a restaurant or in an open space where people are watching and then, like there's this part of you being shy and what will people say and then, but then again, you just carry the camera, stand it and be like, what people say will not give me money to buy amala. So, I might as well. I can't care so much about that. Let me just continue. But yeah, I think my least favorite part is creating. But if I have someone with me when I'm creating there, it's no longer.
Yeah. It's 2 people that you're looking at. It's not just you.
Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, I don't even bother about who is there again because I'm just with the person I'm with.
Do you ever feel too exposed as a lifestyle content creator?
I have never felt that way because I streamline what I put out a lot. Like it's okay to want to share a lot, but at the same time, you just keep things that you want to keep. So I've never felt that way.
If you had to switch careers, what would you do?
I think I'll find something to do in the creative space.
So you really don't see yourself going back to nursing?
It's the possibility is there. Like, let me say, I know I went to school for 5 years, I got the degree and did the internship and all of that, but at this point, nursing is my backup. It is not my main, because I do not, like I said before, it doesn't give the fulfillment that I thought it was going to give. So nursing for now is my backup. So, and I, by God's grace, I do not want to fall to backup. What social media trend do you secretly hate and would never do? The punishment is to sing Marvel's verse of Body, but you are Shakespeare. I don't know if there is any social media trend that I secretly
just that
hate.
You know, refreshing your
She's not clearing my throat.
You
know, the crazy thing is that when you see the trend, they're like, nah, I can never do this. I don't even know if it's a trend per se, or but it's just something that people like happen to do from time to time based on they're comfortable with it. But I do not think I would ever set up my camera to cry. Hi, my name is Toyin Oseni, and you can follow me on all socials: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat at the Toyin Oseni. And this has been Know Your Creative with Agbon Style.